it's Casey from Russo Resells. I wanted to check in. It's been a couple days since my introductory video. I know that I said I would be coming on here once a day to show you all the 10 to 20 items that I photograph, measure, and list. However, what I've realized is that that doesn't really align with my lifestyle. I find it a little tedious, and instead I do have my handy dandy little planner that I showed you in the last video, and I've been holding myself accountable. I have been posting about 10 items each day to all of my platforms, and I am very happy with that. What I have been finding is that I photograph at least 10 to 30 items every other day, every day, and that way I have a draft bank and it keeps me a little bit ahead each and every day, and I have been very happy with that. Now, yesterday I had to go to jury duty, unfortunately. Thank goodness I was excused. However, I needed to find an excuse for the mileage. So what I did is I headed down to the Salvation Army that just opened up near my parents, and I decided to pop in and see what we could find. So without further ado, for my second video, I would love for you to join me to see my Salvation Army thrift haul. Yesterday, I did round up my total, so my total for 17 items is $118. That averages out to about $6, I think a little bit more than $6 per item. However, I'm not an average reseller where I put everything in and then I put the price of each item. What I do is I have a separate tab in my spreadsheet, and I put every single thrift trip, how many items I bought, and then the amount that I spent. And on the very top, I have a cost of goods per item for the whole year of 2025. Now, with future bins trips in 2025, what I'm hoping is that I reach anywhere from under $5. Right now, my average cost of goods is about $5.91. So, if that gives you a little insight as to what I do. Some items are worth paying up for more, and I am willing to do that because I know that my cost of goods will be going down. And actually, in one of my future videos, I will be doing a thredUP unboxing with you guys. However, it is not a mystery box. I go on thredUP sometimes late at night when I can't fall asleep, and I look for items to go ahead and flip. And this cost of goods structure gives me a little bit more flexibility in finding those items. However, tangent aside, we will get to that video later. I am going to go through everything that I found at Salvation Army with you. Okay, so let's start with the shoes. The first pair of shoes that I got are these Seychelles, like little tweed buckle sandals. And the only reason why I got these is because, first of all, they look unused, even in the toe beds. And second of all, they were only $4.99. They have these marked as a kid's shoe. Over at my other Salvation Army, they have been pricing up the shoes astronomically, and half the time I don't even bother looking because of that reason. The second pair of shoes that I got are these Salomon. They're the Predict SOC running shoes. And another thing, the treads, incredible. They do need a little wash on the uppers, but that's totally fine. And these were only marked at $8.99. So like I said, my cost of goods is still $6 for everything. However, even $8.99 is just such an incredible price for men's running shoes, especially Salomon's. Then I found this incredible new with tag Zara. I mean, look at how cute that is with the empire waist and the smocking. It's like a little ballerina summer dress in tan. It's a linen blend. Now, this is new with tag Zara, and what you'll find in a lot of the Southern California Salvation Armies, Goodwills, is they must have a contract with Zara to get all of their customer returns, because every single time I go into mostly Salvation Armies is when they have like new attack Zara everywhere. You have to be very careful, however, because they are returns. So they'll have rips, they'll have stains, they'll have buttons missing, zippers not working. So when it comes to buying anything new attack Zara related, I make sure to double and triple check. That one did not have anything wrong with it as I can see. I'm sure maybe if I get it to listing that I will find something, but sometimes somebody just buys it and returns it because they don't like the fit. So I'm hoping that that is the case with that item. Okay, so the second item that I found is by a no-name brand or a Y2K brand. It's called City Triangles. Maybe it's Y2K, maybe it's new and they're just trying to get with the trends, but this is a trendy piece. This thing keeps coming undone, but look at how cute this dress is. It's ruched in the middle, and then it comes down to this beautiful whimsical hem, which I love. So I don't sell on Depop. I had a bad experience on Depop, so I just decided to delete the platform, which I know is a little controversial because a lot of people sell on Depop. However, what I've realized is that Depop also allows a bunch of people to send offers and you accept it and they never pay. So I just decided that it really wasn't worth it for me to have it anyways. And I know that that is going to go probably on eBay, which is always a better platform for me anyways. The next item is a pair of cool pants. These are medium regular women's, just gray nylon pants, which are always a great seller. What I've noticed at this particular Salvation Army is that they put these pants in the scrub section, which is a little interesting, maybe because they don't have another section to put them in. But these are the second pair that I have found within this last month at that location, and I will continue to look in the scrub pants spot just to hope to find another pair of cool, because that brand is just such a great brand to find. This brand, I wouldn't commit to memory. It is Claiborne. I only picked it up because it's an extra large and it is the 100% extra fine merino wool, and it's new tags. So it is going to be great for the holidays. It's just this really nice cherry red, and I think it just has one little tiny flaw that I did see, just a little tiny, not even a hole, it's like a little stretch in the fabric, but I'll go ahead and disclose that, and I'm sure that somebody will be buying it for the holiday season. This brand I cannot keep out of my closet. I price it very reasonably well. That's probably why. It is Everlane, and this is 100% cashmere gray long sleeve. And it's just a very capsule, very old money. And like I said, I'll probably list this anywhere from $30 to $40, and it'll go pretty quickly, especially because it's the cashmere. Cashmere, I always look for cashmere, and it always sells really fantastically for me. Now this was in the front of the store. This is a muscle tee by Abercrombie & Fitch. It's a double XL, which it does not look like a double XL, and it has the spell out. It's in this awesome, like, bright yellow color, and it has literally no stains, no rips, no pulls. I'm almost positive it is a newer one. It's Y2K inspired though. They had this in their little boutique section in the very front of the store, and they're only asking $6.99 for it. So I felt like this is just such an easy piece to photograph and to get up, and it's probably going to go really fast, which I love. Now, the next piece that I got is by a brand called Paper Crane. I would have never known about this brand until some other resellers I watch were looking or were talking about it. And it was sold at Buckle. It was on sale for $25. However, it's new at tags. It's really cute. It's really comfy. It buttons, it's a long sleeve, like kind of tunic blouse, and it just screams like kind of 70s to me, and it's going to be perfect for this fall season. It's kind of like a jersey, like bouncy vibe to it. So I'm hoping that that will go pretty quickly for the fall. Okay, so we just have a few more to get through. This is another brand I wouldn't commit to memory. It is Sag Harbor. However, this is very vintage, very Y2K. Nothing wrong with it. It's just this baby blue kind of eyelet detail, 100% linen tank. Like I said, I know we're going out of season, but every time I find something with a good style or a good material and for a reasonable price, I am going to still get it. I post things in all seasons. I don't really care what season it is. If it is something really cute or in really good condition, really good material, really great brand, I am going to photograph and list it. Now, this is another brand that I always thought was very cheapy when I came across it, because this dress does not feel like it's a great brand. It is very Chico's Travelers, like jersey dress, like very safari looking, but it is a long sleeve. It's a midi length dress, leopard print, and it is by Norma Kamali, which, like I said, I never thought was a great brand. I've come across it a little bit, and then I look at the material and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. That I will pass on. However, this one, yeah, it's just polyester and spandex, so I don't get it. However, she sells her stuff for a pretty penny, so I thought that I would just try this out and see how it goes. The next piece are these really cool bonobos, however you pronounce it. I say bonobos. These really cool floral pants. Now, they have a size of 32 by 32 on them. I'm pretty sure they are women's, but I'm going to do some more research on these. They have, you know, two little pockets. These were just so cute, and I could not pass them up. I know that Bonobos has slowed down. However, whenever I find like a button up from them, it always goes between $20 to $25. So if I can get it at a reasonable price, I'll pick it up. And at $6 for those pants, I am willing to take the risk and see how they do. The next brand, Lacoste, or as my husband says, Lacoste. We kind of make fun of higher end brands and how they say their names because, you know, rich people, and it's kind of funny. But anyways, tangent. This is the little alligator on it. And I know that this is a very basic polo. However, what I've realized is that Lacoste, no matter how basic it is, it will just fly out of my closet. I cannot keep it out of my closet, actually, or in my closet, I should say. So I went ahead and I picked that up. With Lacoste, I have a family who loves to golf and play tennis, so I end up selling a lot of Lacoste in my store, just from my husband and father-in-law and mother-in-law when they decide that they want to sell theirs and get another. I am always doing that. So I really love it because it doesn't resale for a whole bunch, but I know that I can, even with rips, even with stains, even with something wrong with it, it'll still be sold. The next one that I found is this fall raven or Fajal raven. I did notice when I was looking at this that it does have a little hole back here and it has some holes on the top. However, this is 100% merino wool. It's just for a little kid, and I still think I can get about $20 to $25 even with the holes. This is one of those brands that is very reputable and people always look for it. So this is actually my first time ever finding it. However, I did do comps beforehand and it's looking quite promising. Okay, so we have, I believe, 3 more items. This is another brand I'm finding for the first time. It's Zadig and Voltaire. I did look up comps in the store, however, and they weren't looking that great for this piece. However, I did find them substantial enough for $6 to get. They're kind of a tapered leg at the bottom, and they're like kind of this artsy camo print vibe. And I'm just going to put these up for about $40 and see how they do. I was ecstatic to find this brand for the first time, so just like the Fall Raven, I just had to get it and kind of test it out and see how it went. This is a brand I would not commit to memory. It is Sorrento. So, Kaylee Elaine has definitely been poking around in my head when I've been going out and sourcing, and I only got this because of the embroidery. This is probably a cheapy Amazon brand and nothing crazy, just on the back, but this embroidery is incredible. So I decided that I was just going to get this and see how it does. So hopefully it doesn't fail me. And last but not least, I think this is inside out. No, well, yeah, it is. This is a Free People cute little like long sleeve poncho going on. This is a sleeve right here, and then it has a turtleneck and it has this beautiful little ruffle detail. I thought this was really cool for Free People. Usually I find little rompers, little tank tops, nothing ever too substantial. I mean, maybe some dresses. However, with the ruffle detailing and us going into the holiday, I thought this would be a great item. So we are done with the haul, and I hope that you all enjoyed it. I am going to have a blast photographing and listing these items, so if you guys ever see anything in my closet that you like, please feel free to send an offer, even bundle a few items and let me know you're a viewer, and I will give you a great deal. Anyways, I am going to get back to my goals today. My husband and I have to run a few errands to do a couple little renovations in the house, and I will catch you all next time. Bye.